Welcome back to Success Stories Unplugged, the podcast where we explore what it really takes to thrive in work and life. I'm Alex, your analytical co-host.
And I'm Taylor, your energetic co-pilot on this journey to self-improvement. Today, we're diving into a challenge everyone faces at some point: procrastination. If you've ever found yourself putting off important tasks, this episode is for you.
That's right. We'll unpack the psychology behind procrastination, share actionable strategies to overcome it, and highlight stories of people who've turned their habits around. Stick around, because we'll also reveal a surprising technique that a world-renowned author uses to beat procrastination.
You don't want to miss this one. Let's get started. So, Alex, let's start with the big question. Why do we procrastinate? What's going on in our brains?
Procrastination is often about avoiding discomfort. When we perceive a task as boring, difficult, or overwhelming, our brain seeks instant gratification by focusing on something easier or more enjoyable. It's essentially an emotional coping mechanism.
That makes so much sense. I mean, how many times have we chosen to scroll through social media instead of tackling a tough project? It feels good in the moment, but the guilt afterward is the worst.
Exactly. The key is recognizing that procrastination isn't a character flaw, it's a behavior, and behaviors can be changed. But first, we need to understand our triggers.
Triggers, huh? Like when I procrastinate because a task feels so big, I don't even know where to start.
That's a common one. Fear of failure, perfectionism, and lack of clarity are all major triggers. For example, I once had a colleague who avoided giving presentations because she was terrified of public speaking. The task felt too overwhelming, so she'd delay it until the last minute.
Oh, wow. What did she do to overcome it?
She broke the task into smaller steps. Instead of prepare a presentation, her first step was write down 3 key points. By focusing on small, manageable actions, she overcame the fear and eventually became more confident.
That's so inspiring. It really shows that understanding your triggers is the first step to beating procrastination. All right, Alex, break it down for us. What does the science say about breaking free from procrastination?
One effective approach is understanding the intention-action gap, which is the space between wanting to do something and actually doing it. To close this gap, you need strategies that make starting easier.
Like what?
For example, using the 2-minute rule. If a task feels daunting, commit to doing just 2 minutes of it. Often, once you start, momentum carries you forward.
Oh, I love that. It's like tricking your brain into action. I once used this method to clean my apartment. I told myself I'd only tidy up one corner, and 2 hours later, the whole place was spotless.
Exactly. Starting small reduces resistance. Another great strategy is time blocking. By scheduling specific times for tasks, you remove decision fatigue and create a sense of accountability.
Time blocking has saved me so many times. I used it when I was juggling work and a side hustle. I'd block 2 hours every evening, and it felt so satisfying to check things off my list.
That's a great example. These methods work because they simplify the process of starting, which is often the hardest part.
Let's get into the tools. What are some practical methods our listeners can use to beat procrastination?
Here are 3 game changers. 1. Pomodoro Technique. Work and focus 25-minute intervals, followed by a 5-minute break. It's a great way to stay productive without burning out. 2. Task prioritization. Use methods like the Eisenhower matrix to distinguish between urgent and important tasks. 3. Accountability partners. Share your goals with someone who can keep you on track.
I love the Pomodoro Technique. It's amazing how much you can get done when you know a break is coming. And accountability? That's been a lifesaver for me.
It's powerful. When you know someone is checking in on your progress, it's harder to justify procrastinating. Plus, it adds a layer of motivation.
You know what's cool? I read about a study where people who publicly committed to their goals were 33% more likely to achieve them. Accountability really works.
That's fascinating. Let's move on to some inspirational stories of people who've conquered procrastination.
Time for some inspiration. Alex, do you have a favorite story about someone overcoming procrastination?
Absolutely. One of my favorites is J.K. Rowling. While writing Harry Potter, she often faced procrastination but used strict deadlines and writing in distraction-free environments to stay focused. That discipline paid off.
That's incredible. For me, it's the story of a student who struggled with procrastination during finals. They started using the reward system, giving themselves a small treat after completing each study session. It helped them stay consistent and pass with flying colors.
Those stories show that overcoming procrastination is possible with the right mindset and strategies.
Let's bring it all together. What steps can our listeners take today to overcome procrastination?
Here's a simple plan. 1. Identify your triggers. Reflect on when and why you procrastinate. 2. Start small. Use the 2-minute rule to make tasks less intimidating. 3. Create a routine. Time block your day and stick to it. 4. Celebrate progress. Reward yourself for completing tasks, no matter how small. 5. Seek support. Partner with someone who can keep you accountable.
I love it. And don't forget, it's okay to stumble. The important thing is to get back on track and keep moving forward.
That wraps up our deep dive into overcoming procrastination. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection.
We hope today's episode gives you the tools and motivation to tackle your tasks head on. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might need a little push to get started.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'd love to hear how you're overcoming procrastination. Tag us on social media using the hashtag Success Stories Unplugged.
Until next time, stay curious and keep striving. Remember, the first step is often the hardest, but it's also the most important.
Absolutely. Start small, stay consistent, and success will follow. Bye for now.